when pressure begins to build called life, because life is going to bring you ups and downs and mountains and valleys. And I'm sure some of you in here, your backstory is full of ups and downs and good days and bad days. I bet some of you in here, your backstory is full of a lot more difficulties and some traumas and some things it's hard for others to comprehend. And for some of you, it hasn't been the roughest or the most difficult, but yet still at times, you still find this void of you wanting to belong and where do you fit in? Life is about these ups and these downs, and it's about pressure and insecurities and just challenges. The challenge for you and me is, what will we do with the pressure that we're in? Will we allow the pressure to bust the pipe, or will we step into uncomfortable, step into our story, and to realize the pressure, the challenge, the difficult situation, if I grab a hold of it and take control of what I can control, which is me and my reaction and how I respond, that pressure can become something valuable like a diamond.
The only way you can turn the corner in your life is to own your smack. In other words, everything in your life is your fault. If you don't, you will underperform all your life because of these excuses. And before you know it, you would have justified being average. You would have justified being stuck. I want you to look in the mirror, young kings and queens today. If you're growing up with nothing and you're growing up without, I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to say these words. I want you to say that I am royalty. I am more of my generational curses. You're going to have to be phenomenal in everything you do, because everyone in the world is chasing greatness. And what do you do when a man is going 100 miles per hour and you haven't even started the engine yet? The best gifts come from the bottom. I want to give our last name a legacy that will be remembered forever. See, this type of greatness I'm talking about when I die, they can't even fit another body in the church. Because what I gave the world.
If you can find something that you have an innate ability for, and we love doing things we have an innate ability for, right? Have an innate talent, it's in our DNA for. And then go, now I'm ready to educate myself, learn, hustle, go after, seek, create opportunities, bam, bam. It's gonna be in the prism of how I measure every situation where I am going forward. Hunt it down and do what you gotta do to get better at it. And then if it's hopefully something that the world can demand,
Man, that's a sweet spot.
Now you're paying your rent, man. Now we got food on the table. Now we're rolling. Now we're waking up with some purpose. Now we're waking up with, it's gonna be a hard day today, but I'm not dreading Monday morning. Maybe I want to sleep in, but I'm building something. I'm building something here. I'm in construction.
You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
It's like, if you want to have everything you could possibly want and more, then be a good person. The better a person you are, the more likely that is to happen. There's no better strategy.
Don't just do it for the money. You can make a lot of money. When you find something that you love, you will study it. Something that you love that becomes a difference between being in speaking and speaking being in you, that you will become not just confident, but you will become competent on that.
Visualization is a gift to your heart and your soul. It's a gift. Because if the idea is the seed, visualization is the fertilizer.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
Take everything away, and then what is it that you see in the mirror? Do you see there is the loving heart inside? There is the strength or the willpower inside this body. There is the discipline inside this body. There is a loyal person standing. there is pride inside of this.
And no, you're not famous, and no, it's not. You were what before you were ever an actor. Before, what are you? What were you? Before you were McConaughey, before you were a Texan, before you were an American, before you were an actor, before you were a movie star, before you were a celebrity. Well, come on, get it all off. And it was a purge. You're the only son of you can't get rid of. So, we're gonna duke it out for the rest of our life here, or we're gonna figure out how to get along.
The one thing that you must understand is that you don't get any do-overs. Once your day ends, that's it. So what action do you need to commit to taking today?
How long are we going to talk about it? How long are we going to dream about it? How long are we going to fantasize about it? How long? You tell me.
It takes grit. It takes sacrifice. It takes time and energy. It takes extreme focus.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. I want to be that voice for you to stop dreaming and start chasing, start pursuing, but most importantly, you gotta become. Everything I ever dreamed of lives in the sky, and I must jump every single day to go reclaim what's mine.
So I'm challenging you to take action with the resources that you have right now.
You see, many of us believe that just because our father was a drug dealer and our uncle was a drug dealer, that is our life and that is our forever. But I want you to know something. That is only a lesson to show us to be something more than what they thought we could be. You see, when a family tree is dying, all you have to do is take care of the roots. And if the roots is too dead to bring the tree back alive, you plant another one.
Too often you have a dream of creating this or getting involved with there, but at the end of the day, sometimes this fear of will I fail, will I be accepted, will I make it, will I achieve it? The challenge is learning to punch that fear, that threshold right in its mouth. And I'm not promoting violence, but I'm talking about the fear of that voice in the back of your head that makes you think that you can't. And you know what? Maybe you'll make a mistake, but you're failing forward. The thing that we have to continue to passionately, uncompromisably not give in on is the fact that I'm not staying stagnant. I'm moving forward because what I feed will grow and what I starve will die.
We got a lot of lions out there in those neighborhoods, drug dealers, killers, whatever you want to call yourself. And I want you to know, King, you special. You misguided, but you special. I know you grew up without a father and your mother left you and nobody ever loved you and nobody ever told you you can be anything, and you believed it. But I want to tell you this, that you are phenomenal. You are a king. You come from royal blood. You stand on the tip-top of pyramids. You are royalty, king. You are a light. You are a star. The question is, do you believe you are?
And so for me, what I caught from my dad when I was a kid, it was his coping mechanisms, you know, like I always say, it was the fake face, it was the fake smile. It was acting like everything's good on the surface, but when I was alone and I was looking in the mirror, man, I was struggling, but I was silent. I was screaming, but I was quiet. In that thought pattern, pressure began to bust and break pipes in my life. See, pressure, like I always say, it can create diamonds, or it can bust a pipe.
I don't care what your salary is. I don't care what your title is. Dominate where you are right now so you can get in position to get promoted. Stop justifying. Stop making excuses and dominate where you are right now. You got to set goals that create pressure. Stop wasting your time making excuses and blaming other people. You need to set goals and pursue them, but you got to set goals and create pressure and get some support until you get there. And the worst thing you can do is let yourself off the hook. And that's what excuses do. You let yourself off the hook when you set a goal, when you have a dream, you have a vision. Don't you ever let yourself off the hook. This means you gotta work. This means you have to grind when they sleep. You gotta grind when they won't. You gotta grind when you do not feel like it. And this in all areas in life. School, sports, your religion. Consistency is the tunnel to greatness. Consistency will turn an ordinary man into something he never thought he could be. You know, my dad would say, go get it, son, go get it. Be sweet, baby, be sweet, go get it. Go get it, be sweet, baby, go get it. Go get it, be sweet, baby. Go get it, be sweet, baby. Every time I left the house, my mom would say, be sweet, baby, be sweet. My dad would say, go get it, son, go get it. Go get it, son, go get it, be sweet, go get it, be sweet, go get it, be sweet, go get it, be sweet. My family had 2 core values. Go get it, son. Be sweet, baby. Let the world know your name, King and Queen.
You believe, we know from the science and we know from experience that if I exercise, it's a process and it's good for me, even though I can't measure it in the short term. And if I eat well and I keep doing that, I know it'll keep me healthy for the long term. I'll eat more leafy greens and less sugar. I know I just have to stick to this process that 100% of the time, it works. How long does it take to get into shape when you start exercising? Nobody knows.
Right.
Neither does any doctor. Sometimes a little less time for some people and sometimes a little more time for others. Like, we don't know. We just know 100% that it works. And so I had to get used to the idea professionally that I'm going to do things that I know work, but I won't be able to measure them. And I just have to be okay with the fact that it works, like exercise, like eating right. And so that's where, learning an infinite mindset and letting go of annual goals. So people are like, what's your annual goal? I don't have any, because I can't predict what I'm going to achieve based on arbitrary timelines.
And it's real important in the visualization. You can't see it over there. You have to see it right here.
Feel it.
You got to feel it right here. Like I am. It's all I am. I am. I am in my dream home. I am in my dream relationship. And then unpack what that looks like. But most importantly, unpack what it feels like. And when you have that emotion in this moment, all of a sudden you stir up something that I don't think will ever go back to sleep. It'll go, okay, let's go get that.
Develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. You have greatness in you. That you have the ability to do more than you could ever begin to imagine. You have greatness in you. There's a presence in each and every one of us that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only God you will ever have or hear. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. When you recognize your greatness, no one will ever pull your strings. You are different. You were created on purpose with a purpose to manifest that purpose through you. But you will never exercise authority and dominion over your life until you exercise authority and dominion over what you are not.
Abundance is just about overflow. It's about overflow. That means that if there were a saucer under this cup, abundance would be everything. This tea flows over into the saucer, and I can feed you from my saucer because I have filled my cup up enough. I use my cup for me, and I feed you from my saucer. And abundance is saying, I have a saucer in my relationships filled with great experiences. There's a saucer in my health and wellness. I have so much bountiful health and vitality that I can show up for you. There's a saucer with my spirituality that I can pray for you. I can forgive the perceivingly unforgivable and love the perceivingly unlovable. And then there's a saucer for my finances. And that in every area, because abundance is a 360 experience. See, wealth is singularly focused. Wealth is about your money and your possessions. That's wealth. Okay? But abundance is 360. I have a lot of very, very wealthy friends. They're wealthy, they're not abundant.
Your ability to put something into your own mind where nobody else has impact on, and only you know that day in, day out, you just still walk this path and feel for yourself how it's getting real, because it's unbroken, because there's nobody who can interfere.
Make that dash dance. Make it rock this planet. Make it unapologetic. Take no prisoners. Play full out. If you're gonna run fast, run hard, even at the risk of hitting the wall. Make your dash dance. Greatness is about being willing to be used to your highest level of possibility, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's unpopular, even when you're alone, even when it's inconveniencing, you're still willing to lead.
You can either have success or revenge, but you can't have both. Success is letting it go. When you're talking about a world of competition, it created this excuse for your rage. And I vowed that I was going to get every person who ever doubted me, who ever insulted me, who ever made me feel slightly uncomfortable, I was going to get you back. And I was going to show you. But I was that focused. I was like, man, I'm here. I can show them. I can be beyond. A lot of your thoughts are not yours. You know, it's like an auxiliary cord, and people plug in and do your stuff. You pick up things and you're like, why am I thinking that? And your thoughts determine your feelings, and your emotions determine your actions. And so if someone can get into your thoughts, they can change the way you feel. And in a very competitive world, people tell you you're broken. But what I learned is that you're not broken. You're just not finished. Because nothing's broken, just things don't fit. And you pull it off and you put it back together the right way. And you can rebuild yourself. But the problem is, it's not anybody else's job to assemble you. You got to assemble yourself. And when we talk about rage, what we're talking about is an attempt to control things you can't control. You can't love someone and control them at the same time. And I had no control. And growing up with an alcoholic father, one of my earliest memories is him knocking my mother out. And I was like, got it, man. You run the world right now. Until I do. I was obsessed with muscle, even as a little kid. A lot of my desire to be strong was because I knew one day I may have to kill my father. He was unending, never bending, just constant intimidation. And I had a desire to get strong. I knew I had to protect, one day would have to protect my mom, protect my family. I started living my life like I was in a revenge movie. I was exhausted. It would be the end of me. I would do this stuff where I would go work out, and then I would work out until I couldn't move. And then I would rest up, and then I would go, and I would flex my muscles until they cramped. It was sadistic. It was masochistic. Yeah. But I said, I will never stop doing sit-ups. I will never stop. I would, again, sit-ups and push-ups until my stomach, till I was curled over in tears.
Oh my gosh.
And then I go do more. Because I said, no one's going to beat me. I realized that the image of Terry Crews was more important than who Terry Crews was. Because you have to know who you are.
Absolutely. You have to share who you are.
But the game is not to share who you are. The big thing, growing up, I cared what everyone thought. Especially when you're in that world like that, everyone's opinion mattered way too much.
And how do you learn to not care or ruminate on the opinions of others now? When you've been so conditioned to people please for years, how did you?
It takes time.
Yeah.
It's not overnight. And I would never encourage anybody to just go test it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that takes years and years. The big thing about being tough is people thought, you'd be able to throw punches, but it's really about endurance. Mm-hmm. Being able to be alone. Being able to stand alone. But change is inevitable. I'll never forget coming out of therapy, and this guy was like, they were like, Terry, you have to learn how to tell people no, because I was a pleaser. I remember being in counseling, and the counselor asked me, she said, what if a director told you to do something you didn't want to do? I said, well, I have to do it. And she said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. She said, no, you don't, Terry. I said, well, I'm an actor. She said, yeah, but you don't have to do what everything the director tells you to do. I said, yes, I do, because I'm an actor. And she's like, no, you don't. And she said, Terry, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. I didn't know. Especially since I was such a pleaser, it was one of the things, well, yeah. And I'll never forget, this guy came up to me and said, hey man, can I get an autograph? And I was going to do it. I was going to practice. And I looked at him, I said, no. He said, come on, man. I said, no. And I went crazy. And the guy was like, dude, relax, man. And I was like shaking. It was the first time I was exercising this no. And I was shaking. I got back in the car and I said, I thought I was going crazy. But what I was doing was dissecting and piecing and understanding who I was and what made me tick. Why do I feel angry if someone says that? Or why am I insulted? Why? Is it me or is it them? And see, and once I started asking these questions, I could let it go. You gotta start exercising it. Just ask yourself why you're so offended. How did I get here? The thoughts turned into emotions, that turned into actions, that turned into mania. You have to do what's within your power to make things right. Remember, you were out of control before. Anything can make you go off. This is responsibility. Mm-hmm. You have an ability to respond differently. You have that now. I don't want men to feel like they're alone. I don't want men to feel like it's just them and they don't know any way out and the whole thing. I have to be vulnerable. I have to share this part so that you know how far I came. But what I learned is that you're not broken. You're just not finished.
You will not stop me. I will keep going.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Dwayne Wade from Marquette University.
And I think he's right at that next level. There's really not a lot he can't do.
Do you want to be great?
I think he could be a multiple All-Star.
If you want to be great, this is what you do.
A three-time NBA champion, a 13-time All-Star. Here's Dwayne Wade.
You're going to be great. and if you are great. Even if you're good, you gotta work hard at it.
He gets deflection, steals, he can block shots.
All my brothers and I did was eat, sleep, talk, think, and dream basketball. It was my obsession. Michael Jordan didn't understand the impact he made on me just by being himself, or just by, speaking out on, on certain things, or facing the media after the bad game, or whatever it was. I looked at it all, but I just wanted to be like that guy. Nothing is accomplished without hard work. The saying is, stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. Yeah. I need you to show up every day. I'm on this stage because my beliefs have always been stronger than anyone's doubt.
They questioned his shooting.
There was a real question mark whether he handled the ball well enough.
It's never about your setbacks. It's how you respond. The blows you take are fuel. The limitations people put on you are actually inspiration.
I'm curious, what is your most proud moment?
Getting drafted, because that was the moment that showed me I can do anything.
Dwayne Wade from Marquette.
I worked hard just to get drafted. Because once I got drafted, then it really started.
It's a place where I feel I belong.
That moment for me will forever go down in history as I can do anything.
Wow, okay, I did all I can now. Just wait and see what happens.
The goal is, every day, is to put one foot in front of the next. No matter how hard yesterday was, it's every day, get out of bed. It's something that you believe in and you want, then go at it every day. And to me, that's consistency. It's putting enough consistent days together. You mess around and you have a good life. I guess the moments for me, which is probably the most special moments, is the Olympic moments. I remember getting into one of the cities and very late, and we couldn't really sleep. You on all kind of time zones, whatever. So, my crew, with Brian, I'm with Melo and CP, and the crew. We all together. And so we decide, we like, yo, tomorrow, man, first person up, wake me up. We're gonna go to breakfast. We're gonna go eat, whatever. Like the food should open up at this hour. We were hungry. But we like, yo, let's go to sleep, and then let's get up so we can eat. As we get down there, Kobe's sitting at the table. Already, he's sitting at the table. So we walk over, what's up, Cole? In Kobe Bryant fashion. He look at us and he's like, yo, what's good? He's like, I just got my second workout in.
He already finished. He just finished his workout.
I think he did a basketball workout on the court, and I think he did a weight room workout.
Before you guys got to breakfast early morning.
We were only asleep for about 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay. I had always heard about the work ethics of Kobe Bryant, but I never seen him. I'm like, man, I work hard too.
Yeah.
He set himself apart in so many different ways. The mental, edge that he had on people, he understood that I'm playing on a team with all these great young players who are trying to come and take the spot. And I'm not only gonna do what they do, just as good or better, I'm gonna do more than them, a lot more than them. Just to separate myself. It was a different level. And that level made us go to a different level. In that moment of the Olympics, When I know we're tired, these flights are long. Yeah. We're playing, we're traveling, we're practicing and that. He's older than us. And to see that,
that's another level.
That's a different level.
Did you ever doubt yourself? Did you ever have insecurities? And if so, how did you learn to manage or overcome self-doubt so it didn't cripple you?
Oh my, self-doubt creeps in all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't get to talk to every great human being in the world, but I'm sure all of them have and do have self-doubt at times.
How often was it for you? Was it a blip?
Self-doubt can be in moments. You can come into a game with all the confidence and then you miss 7 shots in a row. Now you got self-doubt. Sometimes you look around the arena, you see a kid in your jersey. You be like, all right, it's bigger than me. You can be down on yourself and have self-doubt very easily, not thinking you're great enough, lacking confidence in your shot, and whatever it was, I definitely had a lot of self-doubt, but I was always able to pull from things or pull from people and allow them to bring me back. You never do it by yourself.
Who was the most influential adult figure in your life growing up?
Michael Jordan.
Really?
I watch how he did interviews.
Yeah.
You watch how he walk. You watch it all because I didn't see anybody that was in my life that I was like, oh, I want to be like that person. Mm-hmm. So I had to go find someone. Once again, I had to think I had to go into this vision. I had to think outside of the box in a sense. And outside the box is outside of my community and my family. And I found Michael Jordan. I grew up in Chicago. I was able to tune in and watch the game. We got the interviews. I was after the game, and my brothers would sit and watch the TV waiting for Jordan to interview. He just became that much of a figure in our lives. Yeah, it's crazy.
What was it like when you first met him?
Surreal.
And what was the best piece of advice that he told you?
It was something so simple. He just told me, go get it. And it's crazy, right? It's like, go get it. Yeah. But for me, that's all was in my mind while I was playing the game. Go get it. Wow. And I went and got it. He said, hey man, I don't want to see these shoes on the floor. I want to see these shoes in the air. In my mind, all these things, I was like, yo, you gotta see these shoes in the air. And so I'm coming down the court and I see Andy and he backing up and I'm like, I'm going for it. And if you see the highlight, I dunk it, right? Boom. And I'm about to go to the bench where my team had go that way and talk to me. But I was like, nope, Jordan's over here. No Stepped over Andy and went that way. And I'm like, that's how you do it. But I'm really over there like, I wanted Jordan to see me, right? Wanted to be proud of me. Just the power of an influence, it goes a long way. And that's why I tell those stories, because Michael didn't know that all these moments, he didn't know the influence that he was having on a little kid, growing up in the city of Robbins, Illinois, in Chicago. I wanted different. I didn't want what I seen. I just knew what I would see. I'm like, I don't want this. To be great, you gotta be consistent. But just stay consistent, stay true to you, stay consistent to the work. Yeah, go do something special. Don't just be here. That's the thing I strive for. What it takes to actually win is built on discipline, is built on respect, is built on toughness, not giving up, not quitting. I could have given up, but we're in the Hall of Fame, dog.
So money doesn't bring you happiness.
It's never made me happy. I don't measure happy.
What do you measure?
I measure accomplishments, I measure targets, I measure, who I'm helping, things that I can actually physically measure. The reality is most of us don't dream big. You got the mindset, are you looking? Are you paying attention? You can do it, bro. You got to give something up. It's not you have to add something, you always have to give something up.
Really?
I've never been able to go from here to there and not give up something. They got me here. If you're going to go from zero to a millionaire, when you get to a millionaire, if you want to go to the next level, you want to go to 10 million, you will have to give up the millionaire life. That's why I said I got to hold myself accountable to the goal. If I'm going to have to keep reselling myself on this goal. If people want to create wealth for themselves, it's not just money, it's people. Not how much money I have. I mean, we all know about the wealthy person that has no friends. He's on a yacht by himself. And that's not wealth, right? It's just a bunch of money and material collections. To me, there's no way to create real wealth by just going inside. You got to go, I got to add people. How do you get people to know who you are? I say almost yes to almost everything.
Why do you say yes to everything?
Because it connects me to another person. I need people to get to know who I am.
I'm going to become somebody.
I want to contribute more. I don't think about I want to be more happy. I'm not thinking about joy. I'm not thinking about contentment. I'm thinking about action. I want the action. I want the grind. I want the possibility. I want legacy. I'm trying to figure out how to extend 100 years. How could Grant Cardone still be relevant in 21-23? Do I want more happiness? Dude, I want more time is what I want. And I want more health.
Would time and health bring you more happiness?
As long as I have people around me that I want to be around. I don't like being around people that don't do stuff. I don't like people that talk about doing something and don't. I don't like being around people that can't pay bills and can't throw in and can't contribute, because I know they can. Most of the people watching right now, everything you have budgeted for in your life, you can pay for. It's the things you didn't budget for, the big dream. But everything else, you got covered. Everything people pay attention to. House note, car note, electric bill, water bill, basics. Everything gets covered. What if you just added a whole bunch of other stuff to the list? What if we were all brought up to say, hey, we're going to cover all this stuff? People would be even more productive.
What would you say are the top 3 ways, the best ways to multiply money then?
Get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. First, you got to make it. I got to collect it. I got to collect some. Then I got to figure out, okay, this pays for this basic living. Everything above that, don't spend any more money. Like the rest of it, if this is $4,000 and I make 7, the entire 3 has got to go into investments.
Every month.
Every single month. At some point, you got to quit being a saver and got to start being an investor. This is what we should have been taught in school, man. This is what we should have been taught as kids. Like, how do I do money? You do it with time. Okay, you don't do it with a job. You're not going to get $823,000 a year at a job. There's no job that's going to hire you and pay you $823 without you having to go back to college and spend time and invest money. It just doesn't work like that.
What do you think people in the middle class are doing that they should shift in their mindset in order to start getting out of that?
Well, you don't borrow money to go to college. Why would you trade 5 or 6 or 7 years of the income? Time is money. So I wouldn't go to college. I would never buy a home. I would never put debt on a home. If I bought a home, I wouldn't put debt on it. And these are nevers for me on the come up.
On the come up, yeah.
On the come up.
Once you have the cash.
Dude, once if you're wealthy and you want to go buy homes and buy yachts and stuff, go do whatever you want to do. But on the come up, you would never spend your income. You would never spend primary income on improving the quality of your life.
You would only invest. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. Like Sabrina's, I let her pay all the bills. I've been doing this since she was probably 6. You pay the bill. We don't give them an allowance. I don't think any kid should be given an allowance.
Interesting. Why not?
If they want money, they become an employee of the company. They work for the company. We give them a series of things to do. We pay them once a year. Okay, we give them a big check at the beginning of the year. That money goes into Cardone Capital.
Wow.
And they live off the distributions.
Come on.
Sometimes they'll get a bonus for doing extra stuff.
But they don't get the money.
They never get the money.
It's invested, and they get
that
the
money is
distribution.
invested, they get the distributions. They will create wealth over the next 10 years. But it'll be their own wealth. It's not something I gave them.
Well, if you could only teach your kids 3 lessons about money,
yeah,
what would those lessons be?
People. Number one, meet people. No one's a stranger. The money's a people game. 2, once you get it, don't lose it. And number 3, invest in things where you can never lose your capital. Now, the person watching this, she's a waitress and she's got 2 kids at home. She's like, I'm never gonna make $800. It's because you already gave up on the idea. Like you never said that's the target, and you keep thinking you got to wait tables, and you quit already.
How many people are in debt in America?
40% of people that make $1 million a year still are living paycheck to paycheck.
40%?
40%. But that's not because of inflation. That's because they spent money they shouldn't have spent. They thought they were entitled to because they're millionaires.
They live above their means.
They live above their investments, not their means.
How can we shift the relationship to money that we have so we can have a better experience emotionally and spiritually about money?
Anything you're hiding, you're going to have problems with. The secret keeps you sick. First thing I look at every day is my money. I have a great relationship with my money.
I'm not just going to think about it. I'm going to be somebody today. I'm going to grow into who I should be.
What I've done already is impossible.
From where you came from and all these things.
From where I came from, I should be dead. I should have been dead at 25 years old. Or in jail. Messed up forever. You know, instead I became this guy. And I mean, I'm grateful. And I don't know that I had any breaks. When people say, oh, you had luck, I'm like,
you grinded. Right.
I've been grinding. And I'm proud of the grind. But I wanted to turn into something more than money. I'm going to feel good about a lot of places I go to and a lot of people I meet. Because I made more contributions than I didn't. I gave more than I took.